Alright, today we're talking about parallelograms, and we have, of course, we talked about it's just having opposite sides being parallel, but we also have some other interesting points we can make. Opposite sides will also be not only parallel, but also congruent. The angles across from each other will be congruent. That means that any consecutive angles, because of the parallel, they'll be same side interior, so they should be supplementary. And then diagonals, they don't intersect at right angles like a kite, but they will cut each other in half, kind of like the trapezoid here. So let's see what we'll look at. We want to first find what values we need to make this a parallelogram. Well, first, looking at the sides, I have two sides, 7x, 5x plus 19. They're opposite each other, so that means that they should be the same length. So instead of equal to each other, you should get 2x equals 19, or x equals 19 halves, or that's the same as 9.5 for that. And it's just like that. That's all you need for them to be the same. Now here, I can also say, while I have these two angles, they are right next to each other, though. They're consecutive. That means I should add them up, and they should add up to be 180 degrees. So that means 16y plus 4 is 180. So 16y equals 176, or y is equal to 11. Now from there, if I have this third angle, that's z plus 2. I know it would have to be the exact same as the angle across from it. So it would have to be the same as 6y plus 5. How do I do that when I have now two variables, though? 6y plus 5 and z plus 2. Well, I know what y is. Y is 11. We just figured that out. So z plus 2 is 6 times 11 plus 5. That means z plus 2 will equal, this is 6671. That means taking away 2 from each side, z is equal to 69. And that's all you would need to do to make sure that all are equal to each other the way they need to be. Now, to prove something is a parallelogram, if I'm given different points on a plane, you have lots of different options. The first one, all I need to know is that they are parallel. If they're parallel, what should I look at? I should look at their slopes. So I would need to look at the slopes of FG would have to be the same as HJ, and GH would have to be the same as FJ. So when I do that, if I do F and G, it would be negative 2 minus 2 for subtracting my y's, and negative 4 minus negative 2 for my x's. So when I do that on top, I should get negative 4. On the bottom, I should get negative 2. That simplifies to be 2. If they are parallel, then HJ should be the exact same. So I'll do 3 minus negative 1, and I will do on the bottom then 4 minus 2. 3 minus negative 1, 4 minus 2. So I should get 4 on top, 2 on the bottom, also 2. So those sides are parallel. Same thing doing G and H. I'll do 3 minus 2 over 4 minus negative 2. Gives me a 1 over 6. And for F and J, it would be negative 2 minus negative 1. And it would be negative 4 minus 2. So I would have negative 1 over negative 6, which is the same as 1 over 6. So that's all you need to show. Since these slopes are the same, that means that you have the parallel sides. Now the other thing I can do is I can look at the distances, the lengths of the sides. Because if opposite sides are congruent to each other, then same thing, it must also be, we must also have a parallelogram. So we'll do the same ones. FG and HJ should be the same, and then GH and FJ, again, must also be the same. So let's see if they are. With FG, we'll take the square root of, subtract the x's, so negative 4 minus negative 2 and square them. Subtract the y's, negative 2 minus 2 and square them. And I should get, this should become 2 squared is 4. This will become 4 squared is 16. So the square root of 20. When I do H and J, you should notice the same numbers are going to start popping up here. HJ will be 4 minus 2 squared, so there's your 2 squared again. And you should have, for this one, 3 minus negative 1 squared. So there's your 4 squared. 4 plus 16 is 20, square root of 20. For G and H and F and J, you should have same numbers popping up for these two as well. For GH, you'll do 4 minus negative 2. So that'll become 6 squared. And for the y's, you'll get 3 minus 2 and square that. So 6 squared is 36. 1 squared is 1. So add those up, square root of 37. And when you do FJ, you'll have the same thing. Negative 4 minus 2 squared, and that will become 36, and then we'll add to that with the y's, negative 2 minus negative 1 squared. Negative 1 squared is positive 1, so 36 plus 6, again, 37. You have your choice more often than not of which one to do. All you need to do is show either one, and you have a parallelogram.